Hi, my name is Einar. I live here in the Pacific Northwest, and my wife and I just purchased an excavator from Alibaba to build a passive house ourselves. So this video is just to go over the process for buying a mini excavator via Alibaba and the whole timeline for how long it took and what we had to go through. Right, first I looked around on local sites and auction websites to see if I could find a good price. Found that the cheapest and what seemed to be reliable was from Alibaba. On November 16th, I contacted April Wang at Shandong Davoo Machinery regarding one of their machines called an SD25B. It was listed at 13,300, but that price went up to 15,476 US dollars after the motor was changed out to an EPA certified engine from Myanmar. It also came with a 54 centimeter bucket and a roof. However, I wanted to add a couple of extra things, so a rotary motor and an auger was $370. An enclosed cab was $920. The side swing of the boom, $365. Hydraulic thumb, $280, and the shipping, $150, for a total of $17,561. I had to make a 30% advance payment to start production. On February 16th, I paid a 30% deposit and was then asked to pick a color between black, yellow, orange, and aqua blue. I picked black. 10 days later, February 26th, I asked for the approximate size and weight to figure out the transport here in Seattle. So I was told it was about 2.6 to 2.7 metric tons, 4.2 meter long, 1.5 meter wide, and 2.2 meters high as far as the crate. On March 18th, I received videos of the excavator being tested. And on March 19th, I got video and pictures of the excavator being created. March 20th, I made the final payment to Alibaba, but I had an issue where Alibaba wouldn't allow credit card payments for more than 12,000, so they had to split it up. It took a little bit of time, but we got it done. And also told that I needed to contact a local freight forwarding company if I didn't have any experience with import-export. Then we discussed something called an ISF, or an import security filing, which is done with the local customs. On March 21st, I learned about a bunch of different custom terms, and also learned about what Alibaba covers. The payment I paid to them covers the cost, the freight, and export from the port of departure. What I had not thought about is here in Seattle, I had to pay a bunch of fees that I did not know about yet. I had to pay the agent, which made sense. Then also the taxes, which I found out was 25% after an increase in Chinese manufacturing import taxes. And on March 22nd, got a picture of the equipment as it was shipped away from the factory towards the departure port. March 24th, I started working with a local company here in the Seattle area with a guy named Chris Barnett at Logisteed America. They were going to be my local import company. I was in charge of communicating with the Chinese export company and go between Chris Barnett and the exporter. And on April 29th, my importer told me he needed an invoice with my name, my address, along with the country of manufacture. It took a little while to generate because not all that information was on the invoice that's provided by Alibaba. May 2nd, my importer gave me an EPA document for the engine, EPA form 2030. I sent it to the manufacturer, who made a couple of mistakes checking that it was a gas engine instead of diesel, but eventually we got it correctly. Then I was told about the different things that needed to be paid here in Seattle before I was allowed to pick it up. The most surprising one was Caro Trans. I have to pay for the handling here in Seattle, and that was $3,225.91, of which $1,181 was a fuel surcharge. I don't know how I would have known about all these payments ahead of time, but now I know. I made the payment via something called Pay Cargo so that I can use a credit card. That cost me $128.41. Next was Terminal Transfer, which was a company here that once the containers offloaded, my crates were then moved from the port of Seattle to the terminal transfer locations where I could pick it up. Then I had to pay for Chris Barnett services with Logisteed. They were only $769.54, but he also collected the $4,434.82 in import taxes. It had to be paid via check or wire. On May 9th, the excavator was available to be picked up, but I wasn't available yet. So on May 12th, I picked it up, which is just under 3 months from when I made the deposit. So the process was pretty straightforward. It did take a lot as far as learning about new paperwork and terms I never heard about, but all in all, I'm very happy. And I have another video coming out about when I actually take delivery and the assembly and a couple of issues I had the first week. All right, more to come. Stay tuned.